aircraft electrical power was lost and electrical circuits became de-energized. This likely prevented electrical arcing and short circuit sparks from damaged electrical wiring. The immediate loss of electrical power therefore removed another major potential ignition source. Both engines separated from the aircraft. This is the source of heat on the aircraft. This is one engine. This is another engine. Furthermore, the generators that generate electricity on the aircraft, they are mounted in the engines. But during this crash, the generators also dismounted from the engines. So there was no electrical power on the aircraft. Assessment of engine power at impact. Examination of the wreckage, particularly the condition of the propeller assemblies, indicates that both engines were likely producing power at the time of ground impact. The Dornier 228 is equipped with Honeywell TPE 331 turboprop engines. In the event of loss of engine oil pressure, which is indicative of an engine malfunction or failure, the propeller system is designed to automatically move the blades towards the feathered position. This feature reduces aerodynamic drag by aligning the propeller blades with the airflow. Detailed inspection of the propeller blades revealed extensive bending, twisting, code-wise scrubbing consistent with rotation under power at the time of impact. Furthermore, the propeller blades were not observed in a feathered position. The observed blade deformation is consistent with significant rotation energy being present when the propellers contacted the terrain. Based on this available evidence, the propeller damage signature are consistent with both engines developing power at the time of impact. The absence of feathered propeller blade positions does not support a scenario involving a pre-impact loss of oil pressure and complete power loss. Here are the pictures of the propellers after the crash. Both propellers were not in feathered position, which means the aircraft engines were producing power. The engines were running. Because if the engines were not running, these propellers would have been in a feathered position. Similarly, this is a picture of the other propeller. This propeller is not in feathered position. It is in fine blade angle. Means this engine was producing power when it impacted the ground. Condition of the aircraft wreckage. It is important to note that the image of the wreckage that most members of the public are familiar with is the one that was circulated by various media outlets and social media platforms immediately after the wreckage was discovered. These images condition before any significant recovery or investigative activities had commenced. Following the discovery of the crash site, the most substantial disturbance to the wreckage occurred during the recovery of the accident victims. Due to the severity of the impact, some bodies were trapped within the aircraft structure and could not be removed without cutting open the sections of the fuselage. These actions were necessary to facilitate the safe and dignified recovery of the deceased and were conducted under the prevailing circumstances at the crash site. A further degree of disturbance resulted from the technical examination conducted by investigators from the German Federal Bureau of Aircraft Accident Investigation, BFU. As part of their investigation, the BFU examined and, where necessary, dismantled portions of the wreckage to determine whether there was any evidence of structural failure, system malfunction, or other technical defects that may have contributed to the accident. Following this analysis, the BFU found no evidence of structural failure, system malfunction, or any accident-related technical defect. This is a picture of the BFU conducting the analysis on the wreckage. As the officer in charge for the recovery operation, I can confirm that recovery personnel exercised maximum care to preserve the integrity of the wreckage. The only significant alteration made by the recovery team was the removal of the wing and the horizontal stabilizer to enable the wreckage fit into the recovery track for transportation from accident site to Zomba Air Base. Apart from this necessary action, no additional dismantling or disturbance of the wreckage was undertaken by the recovery team. Notification of the missing aircraft. On 10 June 2024, at about 1200 hours, I was summoned to the office of the then Director of Operations, Mara Air Force, Brigadier General Hudson Kandula, who informed me that the aircraft did not arrive in Zuzu as expected. At around 1300 hours, he convened a meeting involving all officers at Zomba Air Base to discuss the situation and initiate emergency response measures. Formation of emergency response team. At around 1400 hours on 10 June 2024, Brigadier General created a Zomba Air Base emergency response team comprising the following personnel: Brigadier General Hudson Kandula, Colonel Julius Ndege, that is myself, Major Tonazi Onseka, Captain Ntesa Malamula, Warrant Officer Class 2 Jones Maonga, Sergeant Chifundo Makulu, and Private James Chipanda. The team departed for Lilongwe on the evening of 10 June 2024 and spent the night there in preparation for onward movement to the northern region. On 11 June 2024, the team proceeded to Nzuzu, while Captain Ntesa Malamula remained in Lilongwe to serve as the air liaison officer for the foreign air crews expected to arrive in support of the search and rescue operation. The team was tasked with assisting the search and rescue operations and assessing the situation on the ground. The team's departure from Zomba was rather delayed due to logistical challenges. Arrival at Search and Rescue Coordination Center. The team arrived and joined the Search and Rescue Coordination Center, which was established at Vipia Airfield at around 0900 hours on 11 June 2024. The team was briefed by the then 101 Brigade Commander, Brigadier General Richard Jagonapanja, regarding the ongoing search operations. He indicated that multiple search teams comprising soldiers, police officers, and forest guards had been deployed into the Chikangawa Forest Reserve to locate the missing aircraft and were awaiting further updates. The coordination center ensured harmonizing between the Malay Defense Force, Malay Police Service, medical and emergency services, forestry personnel, and civil aviation stakeholders. Discovery of the crash site.
If I may stop you, I think you've gone beyond your scope. I think the information you provided before was sufficient, but you are now going beyond your scope, which is now, you're now preempting the other phase that we have not planned for.
Thank you, Chair.
Is it possible for you to limit yourself to the scope? You've given us a lot of information on the particular scope we want to talk about.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, members of the committee. The summons I received specifically said I should also submit the role I played as an individual. So this is the role I played as an individual. it said the role played by you. This is the role I played as an individual. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, the role you played in the planning and preparations for the late Vice President's flight on 10th June. If you have your summons. But we are concerned about preempting another phase where people have not discussed, and we're going to preempt conversations and discussions of a phase we have not embarked upon.
Thank you, Chair. That is well noted.
We'll be asked to ask you those questions, and I think it won't be fair on other witnesses that are going to come. And we would like to be very structural. So can we focus on this particular phase, but not on the search and rescue? We haven't gone to search and rescue yet. We may talk about it if it spills over. Okay? Yeah.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, members of the committee. That is well noted.
So may I, when I look at your presentation, I think you have provided with sufficient information to engage you on the airworthiness, maintenance of the aircraft, how ready the aircraft was before we venture into the actual flight and the recovery, the discovery of the bodies.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much.
I'm fine with that, sir.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt you, but you've done a good job so far, giving us all supporting documentation. You demonstrated that you're a qualified technician, and I think we have sufficient grounds to engage you and seek further clarification. So if I may ask, I may start asking, how safe was this aircraft? Just to break ice with you and let you settle down. I think you've got all the facts. So how safe was this aircraft? In summary, so that the members can now, start asking further questions, pertinent questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. In aircraft maintenance, we depend on documentation. As far as the paperwork for this aircraft was concerned, the aircraft was airworthy.
I was being reminded that after you've just explained that, I think there's a relevant, you have relevant points on communication with aircraft manufacturer on point 14. That would be very critical. Findings with Germany BFU, that's very relevant. And the conclusion. So, yeah, you can talk about page 14, communication with the aircraft manufacturer, the finding with BFU,